Aspirations for 2023 from 141 game creators. All right. Bandai, okay. Bandai Namco Studio, Hiroshi Yoshimura. General Director of the God Eater series in Code Vein. Currently preparing a new project. Keywords for 2023. Building new experiences. Okay. Ambition for 2023. We have had similar goals and visions for a long time, but this year will be a year of building a new game experience by combining what we have accumulated so far. There are many times when I get lost, but I will push forward with development with all my might with reliable colleagues. Recent report, there is no recent announcement as we are in a quagmire what the fuck? Of acclaimed development, but thanks to you, Code Vein is steadily increasing the number of users. So that was Google Translate, okay? My man BK, Black Cat on Twitter, me and him been connected for a minute now. He also does translations for this sort of thing. And obviously he translated this. Let's see what he got. I've been putting the same target for a long time, but in this year, I'll construct a new gaming experience by compiling things I piled up until now. I also have a lot of hesitations, but I get help from reliable friends and continued. I'm squirming at the bottom of the dev swamp, so there's nothing to report for now, but Code Vein has gradually gained more users. Mostly the same, right? The one thing I see is he says right at the start, same target, whereas this one he says goals and visions. Target feels more specific, right? But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it changes much. So this whole journey towards a Code Vein 2 started back in 2021. Again, our boy Hiroshi posts this interesting tweet, right? Summer vacation work, there is no sense of discomfort, but what is very interesting is how he includes both titles. Hashtag Code Vein, hashtag God Eater, and on top of that, the image is Code Vein in God Eater's font. So when this happened, bro, I was just confused. Something interesting is, right, when I made this video, Code Vein had just topped 2 million units sold worldwide. And just a few days ago, they topped 3 million units worldwide. Now listen, I didn't plan this, I swear. My biggest takeaway from Hiroshi's New Year comments is the fact that he says nothing about God Eater, right? All Code Vein. And if you think about that tweet, it was Code Vein, right? In God Eater's font, not the other way around. As it stands, all signs lead to Code Vein being what he could potentially be working on. But something just doesn't feel right. God Eater was released in February of 2019, while Code Vein was September 2019. While the difference in release isn't that drastic and the games are made by two different developers, it still, for some reason, feels like God Eater should be here first. Well, I originally thought that, and then I remembered Code Vein was actually slated for a 2018 release before it got delayed into 2019, meaning they meant for it to come before God Eater 3. Now, this could mean a couple things, but first, let me explain my theory as to what I think is going on here. Actually, I pitched this theory to BK, and this happened back in December of 2022, and he agreed, right? So I go, do you think Hiroshi is making a brand new title? It almost sounds like he's combining the two series together as well from the way he describes everything I've learned. Maybe not combined, but blending the gameplay styles together for a new IP. And he goes, yeah, this is the most likely theory for now. In his note, Hiroshi talks about combining or compiling, however you want to translate it. And he says a new game experience and wraps it up with based on all the knowledge he's accumulated thus far. What if we got some God Eater and Code Vein mashup? At the end of the day, he kind of kickstarted this whole theory, right? He typed out Code Vein and God Eater font. I'm not the one doing this, bruh. Take God Eater's Monster Hunter gameplay loop, mix it with Code Vein's open world and combat system, or maybe we just blend the two combat systems together to make something we've never seen before. At the end of the day, he is the director for both titles, so he's the most suited to mold these styles together. If I was being honest, chat, I still find issues in the whole concept of these games being connected. Not only that, they literally told us they're not connected. By the way, every day, to this day, I still feel like I've been lied to. But without going into excruciating depth, I still personally feel like the possibility is 100% still valid. At the end of the day, right, Code Vein was locked behind some wall. They didn't see the outside world, so they could do whatever they want with this story. But if you are interested in going down that rabbit hole, I have an 18-minute video going into just that depth. So go ahead, check that out if you're interested. But back to my original point, let's calm down a little bit with this whole combining nonsense. Unless they purposely like want to stop making God Eaters, why combine them? They're still celebrating the IP, right? 3, honestly, I feel like the way it ended was so open-ended that again, they could do whatever they want with the story. And that just leads me to think there's no way that they're going to combine. To top it off, right? God Eater has 3 mainline games, 6 if we count all the updated versions. And it would just be weird for Code Vein, right? 1 has this crazy success. And all of a sudden, if they just made 2 and it's drastically different, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. At that point, we're in Digimon territory. On the other hand, while I don't have all the sales data on God Eater 3, I do know its first week sales were very solid in Japan. But regardless, Code Vein was able to break that whole worldwide barrier, something that God Eater has not been able to do despite it being out forever at this point. And I just can't see Shift taking God Eater back. They they wanted to give it to somebody else so they can move on. Why would they return to that, you know? So it's just mad confusing. But you want to know the best part about everything, right? This whole situation is that Code Vein has so much room to improve. Think of the life cycle, right, of God Eater 1 into 2 into Resurrection. Those are some legendary games. I think it's safe to say we need a Code Vein 2. We need a Code Vein 2. Let me know what y'all think.
Thanks for watching. Hope you coming back soon. It's the boy Jam, the squad, it's the tune. Always feeling great. See me smiling in the room. I've been getting to the money ever since I left the room. Hey, how we doing? What's the word? What's the move? We the J Squad, so please make room. I always hydrate and I'm eating on my plate. Thinking about the past, I can see this is my fate.